This is where the fun begins.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 75 of Building and Chatting Podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about a lot of things going on with Lego and just maybe some YouTube stuff and everything else. So let's get right on into it. So, Ace, I know you said you wanted to start with the announcement of Lego Pokemon.
Yes. So Lego and Pokemon finally have collaborated. For those well known, that Mega Bloks had the rights to Pokemon for the longest of time, and until we got the rights to Nintendo with Lego Mario, we finally started getting sets about a couple years back. And now the Pokemon rights are gone from Mega Bloks, and Lego is finally able to make sense out of that IP. And it seems like the first one we're getting is Pikachu, which I'm actually surprised of because I haven't heard any rumors of this ever happening. So this was a nice surprise for me, and I was super excited. I grew up with Pokemon.
It adds to Lego's ever-expanding video game lines. We got Mario, Animal Crossing, and they've done some one-offs as well with some Legend of Zelda and other things. So we're adding Pokemon, and that's cool. Very excited to see what they do. But yeah, I mean, it's guaranteed for sure by their teaser image here that we're probably getting a buildable Pikachu, so
yeah,
that looks pretty cool. But Crimson, what do you think about this?
I was gonna say though, if you could flash the image back up, Bounty.
One thing
that I find
pretty
interesting about one thing I find pretty interesting is that it's not really like a super big tail. So if that is the scale, which I don't think it is, I think that's just a thing that they did. But I almost hope that is the scale because we could see something like, I guess the closest thing would be like the minifigure blind bags, but with like different little buildable Pokemon in. I think that could be really cool. I don't think that's what they will do, but I would definitely be down for that.
I mean, there's many possibilities. I know that I know some regions may not get it due to licensing, like in Japan and stuff. I heard they might get it because of just over there with the licensing of Pokemon, but we're getting it here and across all the rest of the world. So it's, but about Lego Pokemon, it is coming, I believe, summer next year or something. So
I think
yes, I believe so.
Because I know
it's actually a good thing that you pointed that out, Crimson, because I didn't recall it. I was just so excited at the teaser of it. And so honestly, that would be a pretty decent scale. It's probably going to be the size of about a brickhead buildable figure.
Mm-hmm.
I would say. So,
but the other thing that I think is cool is the possibilities for what like bigger sets could be as well, because we could very easily see like some bigger sets be like Primal Groudon or Kyogre, which would be very cool.
Oh yeah. I'm really looking forward to some of the sets. One guy that came to mind immediately was Rayquaza, because I saw one of the guys build the Shenron from Dragon Ball Z in Lego as a mock, and it was super cool. And then Lego dropped that, and I was like, oh, I would love a Rayquaza set so bad. It would be amazing to have that.
Well, another cool one would be like an 18 plus like giant set where it could be it could be one of like two things. I don't think they'd do both, but it could either be the statue from what's the game's called? Diamond and Pearl, where it's like half Palkia, half Dialga. Or they could do
that'd be pretty cool.
A trio set of like Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia, which is like a $180 set, which has them all in like a cool pose or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities for sure. I would like to see a Lego art set at one point or another. I think Lego could easily do it with the Pokemon IP, either having it with the actual logo or something. Like I've seen a lot of fan art of drawings and stuff, and that would actually be pretty cool. One thing I do kind of hope for is like similar to how Mario's theme has the little box sets, like they're like $10 or something.
Mm-hmm.
is that we could get like little Pokemon out of that. That would actually be pretty cool.
You gotta collect them all.
You got to do it. Hey, it's the one thing besides Pokemon Go you can actually collect them all.
I think they could do a lot with it. I mean, but also bigger sets too, depending on what they want to do. I mean, Mega Bloks did this kind of like in the final span of theirs, I guess. Then, but they did like the Pokemon Center and like the training areas and all that. Like they could do like
Yeah.
the big the labs, Pokemon labs, and the centers and all that for sets and big like. Yeah, I mean, you could do like those big diorama sets, like or building sets, like Mario did with the like a Bowser or the question block. You could do a lot of things similar to
Yeah.
that as well. And
And I
also,
think a
you
lot of
could do
Lego
the
City collectors would actually enjoy this wave too. It'll
yeah.
make a lot of make sense for sure. And it's funny that you mentioned the dioramas because that's what I was actually getting ready to mention.
I mean, you could do a diorama too, like a battle scene. That'd be cool as well.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars did that with like the Emperor's Final Duel or the Final Duel and other things like that with battles and all that. So there's a lot they could do with a possibility, and
Yeah.
we just got to see how it goes from there. But it's just all we have right now is this teaser of Pikachu's tail, so it's kind of
Yes.
hard to base it off of like what exactly they're going to do. But I,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Pikachu. The most I can say is we'll probably get like Pikachu, Charmander, and Bulbasaur, like those
Yeah. Along
classic
with
Pokemon.
Squirtle, I would.
Yeah.
I'd be kind of curious if they try to do Ash's hat from the original films, an original show, because Mega Bloks never did it. And if you're trying to come up with things for like different ideas of how to do these sets, I think that the Pokemon Ash hat would be pretty nice, and the Pokedex
Mm-hmm.
to start it off with those. I think it'd be pretty cool for sure. But I'm super excited for this wave. I grew up with Pokemon, and I stopped by the time X and Y had finished off. And yeah, to kind of get this Pokemon high coming back with Pokemon Legends ZA coming out this year, and then you have this Lego teaser. Like I just bought my first pack of cards in like what was it? Since like 2017. So
Yeah.
yeah, the Pokemon high is coming back again for sure.
No, oh, it's huge right now, and I told Sky like because we were talking. I said I think that Pokemon could be one of Lego's like next biggest thing. That's how
Oh
I
yeah,
mean it. Like Pokemon is huge, and
yeah,
like it's gonna sell out day one, no matter what it looks like. It will sell because it's Pokemon. And
oh
like
yeah,
you've seen all this stuff recently where people like are really freaking out trying to trample over each other to get these new cards. So that's going to happen day one at the Lego. No, I'm joking, but I hope
yeah.
not. But it's just like people go crazy for Pokemon stuff, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens when they come out. I'll be,
For sure.
but I think that it's going to be huge for sure, for sure.
I definitely think so.
It's something,
The
yeah.
one thing that I'm wondering right now, though, that I think is going to be a very important factor is kind of like whatever scaling they decide to do. Because obviously they can't really do minifigure scale just because it'd be too many differently molded pieces. It would just, I don't think they would do it. It'd be too costly. But I could
Yeah,
see them doing it, obviously, building them out of bricks. So then the question kind of remains is like, are they going to have them all be like a similar size like brickheads, or are we going to see like very different sized Pokemon, like a smaller Pikachu next to like a larger Charizard, or are they going to be like very similar in size?
yeah. They got to be sized accurate,
And then
or
especially with the location sets too, how are those going to work? Because are they going to scale them to like specific Pokemon in that set, or are they going to be scaled to like, let's say like what Bounty Hunter was talking about with like the little $10 like cardboard packs or whatever? Like like the Mario set as, are they going to be scaled to that as well, or is it just like specifically whatever comes in that location set?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, like, obviously they want to do the building stuff, the building minifigures and everything. I think that if they do get to the point, because I see it as like a Jurassic Park, Jurassic World set kind of idea, because we have a buildable Mosasaur now, but now you got a buildable, but now you got a molded Gigantosaurus or whatever it's called, kind of thing. And if you do the battle stuff, I think that's how they're going to be able to do it. And they could, if they do it correctly, it'll look phenomenal. But this is like with the dioramas, I think they're going to have to build some of the characters to size. Like we're probably going to get a molded Pikachu minifigure, and it's going to be to scale. I kind of hope not, but I think it's going to be. And then, but we'll like have a buildable Charizard or something. But I kind of see it as like whatever they're doing with the Jurassic sets, and how we have Jabba the Hutt as a 2-piece minifigure or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely curious to see what they do with the Pokemon theme from here on out. Mega Bloks did actually really good. I was almost considering buying some of their sets and reviewing them on my own, but now Lego's gotten them, so there's almost no point. But if anybody is considering on getting those sets, now's the time to do it, because they're probably going to retire here soon.
True.
So yeah. for sure, definitely excited for this theme and to collect something else. That's how
Yeah, I don't have really much more to say. I'm like, well, I think we kind of went over everything. So
yeah, we pretty much did. It's all speculation at this point, pretty much. So,
well, there is something coming out in like the next week or so that everyone has been talking about. I think people are pretty excited about. It is the next D2C Lord of the Rings set. This is the bag end, as you see here, which is also based off the Fellowship of the Ring with Bilbo's birthday and the stands there and Gandalf's arrival and the Smaug firework. So yeah. Now this I am definitely excited for, because I'm planning to get this, and ND is too, and we're going to do some streams. But it's just, I mean, it's amazing to me. It looks so good. I have the original bag end sitting around here, and it's definitely an improvement from the original from 2012. So it looks really nice. And what's everyone else's thoughts on this?
Oh, want to take this one, Crimson?
No, this is all you two, man. I'm not.
Oh, this is all us on this.
Yeah, this one's all you two.
Yeah, I will say it is a nice set for sure. I was kind of surprised to see that. I do remember the original Bobo Baggins house releasing. I didn't get to see it on shelves, sadly, at all. But this definitely does seem like an improvement. You got those UFO dish pieces that work very well. I noticed that we got some brick printing on the tiles, which is pretty cool. I think those are going to be stickers. But it would be nice to have them as bricks. And I don't know why Lego did this, but we have looks like a brick built tree that looks oddly weird. It looks pretty weird, but not gonna lie, everything else looks good. You got a pretty cool Phoenix. You got a nice little canopy on the side. Gandalf, new minifigure. Pretty much looks good. I think for collectors, this is gonna be a good set to get. And I can definitely see a lot of comparisons. Which, speaking of Bounty, are we possibly gonna get any comparison videos dropping with those two?
We probably could, because it's like. Because let's see. Oh, well, here, I can go get it. It's right over here. But this is. I gotta move this thing out.
Oh, my Lego's getting messed up because of the lighting.
Yeah, but So like this is the original bag end. So
Yeah. Okay, so it wasn't. Yeah, that wasn't bad at the time, and that was
yeah,
what 2015.
I have all the dwarves in there too.
Oh, nice.
I got all of them all, but yeah, it's just for yeah, it's definitely an improvement over the original because it was a lot smaller back then.
Oh yeah, definitely looks a lot smaller. This one definitely looks a lot bigger, and for people who are concerned about the price per piece, I don't think you need to worry. I think this one's fine entirely. I think you're getting everything that you want, and because I know there's a lot of people who like to build medieval sets, mocks and stuff. I think Axadroid, who I follow on YouTube and Instagram, he was building, what was it? I think it was a Lord of the Rings mock at the time, or a Hobbit mock.
Yeah.
Shoot, I know he's probably going to pick this up, and Coconut Bricks might actually pick this set up because I know he has another channel where he does World War II and medieval mocks as well.
Yeah, but it's a very they're very nice sets and figures and things. So it's just I always like to see improvement from when they did old versions because the only like they did the new Rivendell, and the only thing we had of that in the original waves was the Council of Elrond, and it didn't have. It was only like a few seats in the a feature where Gimli like hit the ring and he flew away. But now it's like now Rivendell's like the huge. You know, you actually get the whole of Rivendell, so it's just there's so much improvement from the original Lord of the Rings line to now that it's very exciting to see. But we are also getting one more thing with the bag end set or the Shire, and it is from a scene set long before the Lord of the Rings starts, but Smeagol and Deagle, one of the most disturbing moments in these movies, where of course Smeagol takes out his friend Deagle to take the ring, and of course he becomes Gollum. But this is where, of course, Deagle gets dragged under the water and finds the ring. So, very interesting gift for purchase right there. But
I was about to say, is this the gift for purchase set? I looked at it honestly. It looks like a pretty cool set. But for me, like I don't really have a whole lot of connections to the Lord of the Rings. I only watched the Hobbit movies and the Lord of the Rings show. But and I know there's supposed to be a Gollum movie or something or whatever based off of like a chapter of the Hobbit book. I don't know why they're doing that. Short film maybe, but I mean the pieces. Like if I were to get this set, the pieces I would tear apart in pieces entirely. I wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't be displaying this, but I do like the build. I think it's really interesting for a lot of collectors, and for the ones who like Lord of the Rings, I think people are gonna love it.
Yeah, it's just that it's and this is probably, and I do like it because this is probably the only time we'll ever get these characters ever. So because this is like the only scene with them in the movies at all. So it's a very good. It's an interesting choice, but I like it because it goes along well with the scene and because they're like in the Shire and stuff too. So yeah, but I'm just this was the main thing that got me to be like, yeah, I'm getting the bag in day one because that's just like it's something that we'll probably never get again. So with like figures like that, but there is one more Lord of the Rings set. Now this is the rumor, or well, I not rumor anymore. It's more like leaks, but this is the icons, the new Book Nook collection, Gandalf versus Durin's Bane. So this is gonna be Gandalf versus the Balrog, base from Fellowship of the Ring on the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. So this is of course You Shall Not Pass right here. So I'm very. It's going to be a diorama, probably something similar to a Star Wars diorama, and but maybe have a quote or something on it as well. I think it will be, and first ever Balrog too for Lord of the Rings. So that's going to be interesting. how they
I
do it.
remember hearing rumors about this set, I think all the way in 2023, towards late 2023, around November. And I remember when the leaked images got dropped. Remember all the leaked images that we ended up getting? Like, this set was leaked over 2 years ago. Just like
Yeah.
Jabba's sail barge and the Lord of the Rings Eye Tower set got
Oh
leaked.
yeah.
There was a crap ton of sets that got leaked, and I tried to cover them. And obviously, just like M&R Bricks Productions and a bunch of other channels, those videos got taken down immediately. So we had to use references of people who did mocks and stuff, just so that way we can talk about it. And the fact that the set is already coming out, I'm shocked that the set is coming out in 2025. I figured at least 2024 at the latest, but I mean, better late than never. I think that a lot of people are gonna really like this set, for sure. Iconic scene, yes, and I know there's a lot of people like collectors and mock builders. This is a set that's gonna be bought. I remember when the set was rumored and leaked online that this was a set that actually interested a lot of people, and based off of the prototype design that they had in that leaked image, it actually looked pretty dang good. I was surprised for myself, and I almost considered on buying it, but I have yet to watch Lord of the Rings entirely. So the set I probably won't get until I watch all the movies when I'm done. So
Yeah, it is. Now, I think the prices vary. I've heard around 100 to 120, but this
Mhm.
will be when it launches. And this is June 2025. This will be the cheapest out of the new Lord of the Rings sets. So that's also a bigger thing for people. This is more. It seems like more of a more entryway if you don't have any of the other ones. It's a smaller set. It's not going to be as much as bag end to Rivendell. So it's definitely an interesting set, and I think it will be good. But also, this gives me hope for one more set because from the same scene right before this is the Mines of Moria with the cave troll and all that. So I wonder if
Yeah.
they'll make a D2C of that soon as well because that's a big moment. So there's a lot to look forward to with interesting things
Oh
this
yeah,
year.
especially from Lord of the Rings. I really
Oh
want
yeah.
them to bring the whole Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit back. They can easily do it. There was one set that I had where it was Bobo Baggins' son when he meets Gollum in the cave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was and sadly that was the only set I had. But I still have the pieces. I still have the minifigures to this day, and I like them. Sadly, I don't have them collect in my minifig display box because it's Overwatch, DC, Marvel, and like 3 custom characters that I've built myself, and then I got a custom Deadpool in there. So, but I'm really looking forward to. I think a lot of Lord of the Rings fans and collectors are gonna like this, and mock builders for sure. I already listed off a couple that I think that they're probably gonna get this set and based it
Oh
off of
yeah.
mine.
And it's like now that we're getting, I know it's 3, but one's a gift of purchase, so 2 main sets, and then a gift of purchase that's a lot more than the last few years where it's only been one big set. Now we're getting 2 mainline for Warner, so they're growing it a bit more, which is exciting. Can't wait to see what else they do. Now, the one leak that I've kept hearing about over and over, and then it was revealed to be Rivendell coming. There's one more they said that they get the White Kingdom or the White Castle Minas Tirith, and they that one has been rumored or leaked for a bit. I wonder if they're still going to do that, if it's still in the works. I don't know, but that'd be a great one to have too, and I'd really love to see that as well. But and now I think it's just where do you guys want to go next? Because this was the Lego talk.
Yeah. So I think the next conversation that we're going to have is the last thing was growing a channel for the first time, small content creators, the pros and the cons, YouTube algorithm, and all this other stuff that it pretty much that was the next conversation that we had listed down.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Crimson, I'm not entirely sure what was your experience growing on YouTube or even starting on it. So how has your experience, like what are the pros and cons of a small content creator or even just starting on YouTube?
Yeah.
Has
Okay.
been like?
I'm just gonna go even check some of my older videos so I can have some good examples for myself. I will say one of the pros of this is just from like doing videos and stuff, you just kind of get a better understanding of editing in general. Like you just like even if you just kind of get good at it, but the thing like the problem I guess that is the most annoying to me is the fact that the biggest Lego channels are basically just like Mr. Beast versions of but like Lego stuff. If I don't know if that makes sense,
No,
but
I
it's
see
just
that.
like I built 1,000 clone troopers and a giant Lego army in 20 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is to some point like, of course, like the videos are still like good and stuff, well edited and people still put time into them. But I guess it's the part that annoys me the most is just like you can't really like you can always make the videos you want to make, you're always free to do that. But
Yeah.
whether they do well or not sometimes is very like dependent on other factors.
Yeah.
I definitely can understand that. I mean, when you're looking at these bigger content creators, and it stinks now, because like I'm sure we all watched the Brick Wiz, Rich Boy J, and we have Solid Brick Studios who's still kicking. I'm surprised that he's still kicking in the Lego community. And then we have all these other content creators. We have M&R Productions, Ash Flash, Just Too Good, all these big guys who have expanded and inspired us to create these channels. But then the moment we try to do, like, even if we try to follow the content that we make, it doesn't work as well. Like I've tried doing set reviews, I've tried doing worst to first Q&As, all this other stuff that all these other content creators try to do, but they didn't do as well. So when I drop videos now, like, and I've learned over the years, is like it's definitely a YouTube kind of algorithm kind of thing. You got to constantly post, but I also have noticed that literally I could go without posting for like 3 months. I could drop a video and it gets over 100, like it gets like 300 views or something like that. And then I start dropping YouTube shorts and then I drop videos here and there. And people just keep coming back. They keep coming back. And it's definitely a consistency kind of thing, but I definitely do see what you're talking about. For sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, oh, I just had a great point. I forgot. This is pain.
Yeah. I mean, I'll talk a little too because I started around 2019, but my like as you all know, my old channel went away because of some stupid thing. But it's like from someone that started around like 2018, 2019, and then going into newer where it's now like shorts and all that. It's definitely like a culture shock. Like it really changed because you didn't have it really. And
Yeah.
then they really just started introducing them like around the time I started. But now I would definitely say with like my main one because I've grown to 40 subs on my new one just by in the last few months just by I've been consistent. That main thing you need is consistency, and the other thing is too is like do as many shorts as you can, but if like there is something that requires a longer video, make a longer video of that. But if you can do shorts as well, like you kind of I found out that you just kind of have to find a balance of both to
Yeah.
where you kind of just have to work it out and just and but also the other thing I've learned about this really is like you said, like you try to do the things that can make you views and stuff, and sometimes those don't go as well. But the main thing I've learned is just do what you have fun doing, and
Yeah.
you'll find an audience that wants to connect. I mean, this podcast too has grown significantly, and it's just because like we've done stuff that we really like to do or talk about, and people like to can see that we have fun with this, and people
Yeah.
come and watch and have fun, and that's the whole point of what I do. Is like I just want to be an entertainer. I'm here to make people laugh. I'm here to have fun and just have a passion for what I like to collect or do, and show off what I like to do, and hobbies and everything. And I've enjoyed that, and you figure it out as you go. I will say this though, it's complicated to learn the algorithm sometimes, but
Yeah.
you get there, and then you don't stop. It might go slow here or there, but you start to grow, and when you do, you feel really accomplished. And it's been a great journey so far, and I think that it will get even better.
For sure.
But
Yeah.
mhm, is there? I think people. The main thing I think this is the last thing. I think many people get caught up on like, oh, I could be a big YouTuber, uh, and try to like push their way, like Crimson said, like doing the Mr. Beast style, like I did this with 1,000 clone troopers, or I did all that, and you try to do but in actuality, you're really not doing the things you want to do. You're trying
Yeah.
to, you're when you're not having fun, the audience won't either, and so
Yeah.
you need to be entertaining and do what you know and do what you like, and then people will come that like the same thing as you, and that's how you grow, because there's entertainment that you bring to these things. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's
For
you
sure.
give your opinion.
Well, I think it's
Yeah.
like what Bounty Hunter was saying. If you're doing what you like, it's much more different from, doing what'll just get you views. It's like people say, if you have a job that you love, you never really work a day in your life if you love your job. So you just have to love the content you're making, and then it
Hmm.
doesn't feel like a chore to post
Yeah,
a video. It feels more like you're doing something you actually like.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, because it definitely seemed like that. Trying to find a footing, 'cause especially when COVID and all that stuff happened, like it was such a huge issue for all of us. And that's the funny thing too, is like even though COVID had happened and we started getting less and less sets as time went on, and then we got this bounce back immediately. It was so easy to create content. It was so easy to get views, get likes, and get subscribers. But now we're in this weird, funky place where now YouTube, not only do we have to have, like, if we're struggling to grow on YouTube, we need to go on Instagram. We need to go on Discord. We need to go on TikTok. We need to go on any social media platform just to promote our video because of the YouTube algorithm and how it works. Because they like it when we post daily content all the time. They really do. And like we could split this podcast episode into like 3 different parts and drop it in all the time, and then boom, instantly people will like it. But now, because we're releasing content every now and then, YouTube isn't helping us out with the algorithm. So it's definitely it's a quantity over quality kind of thing. And I don't know why they're taking the same strain with Hollywood, but they are. And I definitely agree. Like, if you post content doing the stuff that you do, like I enjoy Lego. I don't post it all the time, but I enjoy building stuff when I get that boom, I get that little fire, I get that little light. Like I got Solus, which I just finished the terrain and stuff. I got to add a couple of other things. I got that video to drop, and then I have the Wonder Woman 1984 set that I had fixed in terms of the way the satellite and stuff work. Just the way the set looks, I fixed that. And then I got a Kessel mini mock that I'm dropping. And then I got a
Hmm.
mini mock where I got the Nightmare Squad goes up against Evil Superman from the Snyder Cut, and I actually got a Pokeball mini mock that I released. Oh no, that I made like 2 years ago or a year ago now. But I'm gonna re-release that video. I'm gonna edit it and stuff and work on that. But it's definitely, you got to follow what your consumers want. If you look at the stuff that you have now, YouTube Shorts helps. They help you with the views and the subscribers. They get people to come in and follow you. The long length videos, those are the stuff that the dedicated people want to stay for. And like podcasts like this, people can have this on their phone in the car, and they could be doing other stuff and listen to it, and it gets us views. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. So I think that we're now in a time where Lego content creators are struggling. It's not as popular as it used to be. In the past 6 years, it's funny because I've been on this YouTube platform. It'll be 2028, so almost 10 years I've been on this platform, and I still haven't scratched 1,000 subscribers just because of that YouTube algorithm, just because I lose the consistency because of the fact that I started chasing all these other things to grab views and stuff. So I definitely believe that happens to be the case with YouTube now.
Yeah, I mean, but the other best thing I would say to do is, it's like, if you're a Lego person, and like, you can do your set reviews and do all that, but the biggest thing I like doing, and I've noticed that really helps a lot with, and also connecting with your audience. The best thing is streams, like the podcast here, or like a stream, like where people can talk to you and like enjoy your content that way too, is a good thing. Or like they ask you questions, you answer them, like like having like a dialogue with your audience too is one of the best things to do as a creator, and it helps. It helps people understand you. You understand your audience. You understand what they want or don't want, and so it's just, you see what everyone kind of, where everyone's at or how they feel about things, and that also helps you too. That's another big thing, and it's been enjoyable.
Oh yeah, I definitely do. I miss doing the live streams every now and then. I kind of lost interest in doing live streams as time went on. I am thinking about doing live streams here and there for my channel, but I mean, this is where everything kind of helps. Me joining another podcast, me hopping into live streams every now and then, like that's probably the best that I could do. But I lost that with the live streams. I lost my passion. I lost my fire for even doing that, because I rather do something else than clear an entire table off or build an entire mock, which I would like to do that. Looking back at it now, I kind of wish I did more of that for sure. So yeah, live streams, YouTube Shorts, and posting full-length videos here and there for sure. I think a lot of people.
Yeah, it's just, things have changed so much with YouTube and other social media, but I think that I think that there's also things where I'm gonna say this the best way I can, but I think that it's also that some people's personalities are like, people are like, I can't grow, or I can't do this. And sometimes I think, like we were talking about earlier, I think sometimes people focus on the wrong things and don't fully focus on, like, hey, this is what you need to do sometimes, because I feel like there's more that, or I would say this, like what with Hollywood's done recently. I think there's also, like, where sometimes if you delve too deep into certain issues, you start to, basically what I'm saying is, don't divide your audience either. Don't do divisive tactics or other things, because I feel like also sometimes, or there is, the other thing with Lego community I've noticed, for this Lego space, is there can be a lot of controversy for absolutely no reason sometimes. but it's just because of what someone said, or they went a little too far in some regards. And I just feel like, just trying to just stay away from stuff that could be just too controversial, you know, like all the stuff that you don't talk about when doing a Lego channel, and then you'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
I just think some people get too wrapped up in other issues when their when their audience is like Lego or movies. You get focused up on other things, and you can kind of divide people. And I've just noticed a little bit of that too. There's been some division, and I don't really like that, but it's just a little weird sometimes. I'm like, everyone can come in here. Just come and have fun. That's what I want to do. So
yeah, for sure.
I don't.
For sure.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, don't be divisive and stuff. But mainly just have fun. Do what you want. Well, have fun. Do the content you want to make, and just enjoy doing it. I think that's the best, because if you enjoy it, other people will too, and it's a fun. And once you get into a rhythm, it's fun. It really is. You get into a place where you're doing good with it, and you kind of know what you want to do. It just goes from there, and it's been fun. And with, of course, you all on the podcast too. I enjoy doing this every time we can, and it's one of the best things that I'm glad I brought it back, and I'm glad we have been doing more. So yeah, it's been a good time. But Crimson, anything you want to say?
No, you all said everything I was gonna say. It's just like I think the other thing is too is I wouldn't say only focus on one thing, but I also wouldn't say I wouldn't say also do everything, Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you want to do a couple different things, go for it. It's your channel. You can do whatever you want. But I'm just saying, like, don't do too many different things and divide your audience that much. Because
yeah, that's what I would.
Yeah, like you were saying even as well, it's just like you want to stay kind of around like maybe 2-3 things max. But I mean, if you find the niche, and that's even better. So
yeah, because we've noticed it with a lot of other channels, how they do just a couple things. Like one person I was watching, I think the other day, Snarky J, she does commentary on certain things, and then she does reviews and Q&As, that kind of stuff. And like for Lego, I mean, it's not that hard. I'm a Lego content creator. All right, what's the theme that I'm going? I'm doing Star Wars, but it's okay. I can drop a Marvel mock. I could do Overwatch. I can do this. Just don't do it like you're a Lego YouTube Star Wars channel. Don't focus on all of these other themes, but you can use those themes as well to boost your account for followers and stuff. And I think every now and then, like, it wouldn't hurt to do other things. Like, you got Lego mocks, right? You got Lego set reviews, and me personally, Q&As. Those were the 3 things that I wanted to do off rip, and somewhere down the line, I guess, with COVID and stuff, just started going into other stuff, and then that kind of threw the ball underneath. So yeah, you definitely want to stick to at least 3 things maximum. And if you're a Lego content creator, yeah, do Star Wars. You can do Marvel and other stuff at the same time. Just don't make it too much, because then you'll start to lose your audience entirely.
Yeah, because mainly right here now, it's just mainly I'm like focused on the like collectible side of things. Like I do Lego too, but there might be something else like I'll show off, like, hey, this is a pretty cool thing I found, like, stuff like that. But it's still in the realm of like collectible Lego stuff like that, and it's just I don't try to venture too far off into like other stuff, but with other things here, it's like with building and chatting, and this is meant for like, yeah, we can do Lego here, but it's also like we can talk about movies or TV games. Like we can go into kind of anything if we find interesting because we like to talk about different things here, and that's the beauty of what I wanted to do. It's just like it's kind of you can do anything, we can talk about anything, we'll figure it out. But yeah, it's been a fun journey, and I think that's about it that I could say about like YouTube and social media and stuff, like how to grow grow. I mean, and also just be genuine. Just be a genuine person. That's what I could tell you as well. It's just be honest, be genuine with your audience. Don't do anything that could don't do any like things against your audience like some YouTubers have. Like don't like don't try and scam people or do anything like that. Just be a normal, decent person, and you can get by fine. And I
Yeah.
think that's another thing is like sometimes just some YouTubers are review, and I think that's also with YouTube a little bit. Like there's a negative stigma. Sometimes there can be just some people that are really bad on YouTube, and you learn that later, and you're like, man, like that's crazy. But it's just be genuine, honest, do what you want to do, and you'll get there. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I
But
think that was all the topics we had today. This was a good little episode that was planned almost last minute. You're welcome, everybody. But
Yeah.
I mean, a huge shout out to freaking Bounty and Crimson. I would not have been able to do this episode by myself because it would be me talking the entire time, and that is boring. Not everybody wants to hear me talk the entire time, and this was definitely really fun to do. Sure. And yeah. So thank you guys so much for coming in and doing this episode with me.
Oh, you're welcome, man. I mean, I was interested in the Pokemon, like the Lord of the Rings and stuff too. It's like I love this stuff, so and it's like, and I was like, yeah, that's a perfect thing to talk about. So I was like, let's do it. So,
yeah,
and,
we got some time to kill. Let's do it.
But yeah, but I guess with that, everybody, thank you all for watching another episode of Building and Chatting Podcast. Probably after this one, we will see you for Daredevil. But yeah, talk to y'all next time.
Peace out, everyone.
Peace out. Crimson, do you want to say anything?
Pixels 2026. Bring them back,
Wait,
please. Please, I need them, please.
Yeah.